All right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co-host Jake Ellenbogen, and we are coming to you live this Friday night to preview the Rams' upcoming matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. That's right, the Rams will be playing that London slot this Sunday morning, this very early Sunday morning. Jake, it's going to be, I believe, 6:30 in the morning for our friends on the Pacific Coast. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. where I live, 9:30 a.m. over where you are in the East Coast, and it's going to be great. It's always fun to watch your team in prime time. And even though it's early, it always does feel kind of like a special little treat, right? To see your team playing overseas in a unique environment for the fans over there to get to be exposed to your team. Just kind of a cool ordeal. But obviously, for people who are not early morning risers and for people who might be having a late Saturday night, not ideal. But nevertheless, that's what's happening. Jake, looking at this matchup over in London against these Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think have surprised a lot of people this season. I think they've really outperformed expectations, at least in the mainstream. They've been playing very well. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, who's had his ups and downs in his career, has really come through in some of these big games for them. Jake, looking at this matchup, what do you think the story is here?
Yeah, it's a wild matchup. The Jaguars are way better than I think many of us expected them to be. Even though I will say, and this is a little caveat here, you might not know, some people might. I have gotten every single pick right this year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have predicted their entire season correctly through 6 games. Yes, that includes upsets against the 49ers, losing to the Seahawks, beating the Chiefs, losing to the Bengals. Yeah. So they're going to, you already know where I'm going with that. But
humble brag.
Yeah, right. I can't say that for other teams, right? I think I'm 0-6 for quite a few teams in this league. I don't know. It's been a tough year to predict.
You should have just quit while you were ahead. You should have just set the Jaguars and then not gone into that.
Yeah, well, that's part of the humble brag, sure, but also
sure.
I'm going to
bring yourself back down to earth.
Yeah, right. I'm a believer in self-scouting.
Yep, balance. I get it.
The Rams are 2-2 in London, by the way, all time, but they're 2-0 with Sean McVay. And believe it or not, Sean McVay has outscored teams 57-10. And the last time the Rams have played an AFC team in London, the only time, they faced that team, let's see, I can't do math that well. We'll say 2 years later. 2 years later in the Super Bowl. That's right. They played the Bengals, and then 2 years later, they played them in the Super Bowl. So is this a preview of what's to come? Who knows? But no, all jokes aside, London has been kind of a home for the Jaguars, a second home. They've had 11 games there. They're 6-5. Most notably, they just recently beat the Bills and the Falcons in 2023. So it's been a year away from London. It's going to be interesting to see the fan turnout, Alexis, but I think the big storyline in this game is the familiarity factor. You got Liam Cohen, the teacher, versus the student. Liam Cohen, the student, the teacher, Sean McVay, former offensive coordinator. And then you have, of course, whose name, I don't know why I always forget this guy's name. I talked about him all offseason, the general manager. He was with the Rams organization forever.
I forget his name too.
James Gladstone. I always forget this dude's name. I don't know why. I said his name a trillion times. I can't even tell you how many people asked me to come on their show to talk about James Gladstone before he even interviewed with their team. That said, James Gladstone. We got that out of the way.
I always call him Jimmy by accident.
Well,
and I don't think he goes by that.
Maybe he does, to some people. I don't know.
Well, it's not public knowledge, though, so, I have no reason to be calling him Jimmy Gladstone.
Yeah.
But I either forget or call him Jimmy, but you're right, it is James Gladstone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Put some flair on it,
I don't know.
But Jimmy Stones, good Lord. So I want to rectify a mistake I made in my last, because I did a preview video. I do a preview video of every episode, and I was just basically ranting and raving about Brenton Strange. I can confirm I now know he's on the IR. I don't know how I missed it. I guess I just got into the tape and I was all excited and everything from a football perspective. Yes, Brenton Strange is not playing. He's a stud, by the way. Stud, but we won't get into that. Alexis, there's a lot of different things going into this game, but I think the most important thing is they're both 4-2. And they're both teams right now that people kind of want to project their insecurities on about the season. And what I mean by that is I keep hearing, ooh, the loser won't make the playoffs and the winner will. It's like, I don't think it's that deep. I think it's two good teams that are playing each other. The Rams get a chance to head into the bye at 5-2. But if they do head in the bye at 4-3, they went into the bye in 2020, 2023 at 3-6. And I thought the season could be over. And then, the 1-4 start or whatever to last year. This is a team that we know Sean McVay is going to have them ready to play in the second half. But if they already have a good head start, and you're talking about them already having 4 wins, potentially 5, you have to feel good about where the Rams are at in that sense.
For sure. And, it is going to be really interesting, seeing this matchup, something that we've talked about. And I think just a lot of people have talked about this season. These London games have been really weird.
They've been so weird.
I want to preface
it,
that. Yeah, I mean, every game in London has just gone so bizarrely this season that I'm going to preface this episode by saying that, because we're going to analyze this and talk about this as if that's not the case. But there's a very high possibility that this game starts and Jake and I kind of like metaphorically look at each other and are like, it's just like gotten really weird, because it makes sense, because you're in a different country, right? You're overseas. It's difficult enough to get ready to play an NFL game just in general. Now you're adding the time difference, different time zone, jet lag, environment, routine, all shaken up. So just would be remiss if we didn't mention that the London games have just been an absolute crazy show so far this season. But Jake, looking at our matchup against the Jaguars, let's start by talking about our offense, because I think the big story right now with the Rams offense is Puka Nacua is out. He will not be playing against Jacksonville, which is obviously a massive loss. He's our, wide receiver 1. One of the best players in the offense, right now. I think he's obviously Stafford's most comfortable connection receiving wise, and he's not going to be out there. So that's going to really, I think, kind of test this Rams passing attack and see, okay, can Stafford connect with Adams more, right? Like, they have their moments where, they've had some really good plays together where that chemistry feels like it's there. And then there's other times where it feels like Stafford and Adams still are not on the same page. Stafford's overthrowing him, behind him, whatever, right? So I think the natural instinct for that Rams receiving game is going to be for Devontae Adams to step into that role and for Stafford to be targeting him the most. But also, then you look at Kyren Williams. I'd say he's been the next guy in the receiving game. I mean, quite literally, you look at, receiving numbers and receptions. Kyren Williams has come up big in the receiving game. Do the Rams rely on him more in Puka Nacua's absence? Maybe they look to Kyren. Maybe they keep trying to get Jordan Whittington involved, right? See what he can do in that receiving game. Tutu Atwell. Whenever we've targeted Tutu Atwell, he's done great things. So hopefully, the Rams continue to build upon that and get him involved. He's going to be playing. Seems that his injury is behind him. Tyler Higbee got more involved last game, right? Maybe we look at Ferguson. Hopefully, we say it every episode. We're like, Terrence Ferguson, please use him. And then the Rams use him on a jet sweep. You know what I mean? It's like, let's really use him, right? Let's actually throw to him in the red zone. We want to see that.
Killed me a little bit.
As a fan base. Yeah, that was a brutal play call, which we talked about last episode.
Did you watch that on All 22, by the way? Did you get a chance to?
I didn't watch that. No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
But I mean,
he missed his block entirely. He had the block and he just didn't see it. And then that's one of those plays where I don't fault him when is he in that situation, unless they have been going through it the whole week. And if that's the case, I don't know what else to say. But not ever put in that situation. The block is made. You watch Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl on 4th and 1. He has to get that yard against the Bengals. and there's no hesitation. It's all one motion. He goes, he hits that, the spot where he's supposed to hit, and then he does like a spin move and gets tackled and gets the first down. I mean, I don't know if I'd be comfortable watching that run again in a serious spot. So, yeah. I thought the play call, I didn't hate it. He looks slow because it's not that he's slow. He's got build-up speed, but I think he looks slower because he was hesitant. That has to be something like if you did that with Kyron Williams, obviously he's a running back, they would suspect it. But if you had like his vision and like how quick he is, like the quick trigger in his brain, boom. And I'm not calling T. Ferg slow, but I'm just saying like that's one of those plays where it doesn't matter how good you are in that moment. You have to make a cut on a dime. You have to make a decision. He didn't, and so then it looks like he's slow and he gets, he ends up getting tackled. Yeah. So that was frustrating.
I just didn't love that play call with him.
No, I agree.
And I mean, we want to see him being thrown to in the red zone. We want to see him being utilized as that kind of receiving tight end that he was drafted to be, right? Or that we all thought he was drafted to be. And hopefully the Rams in London can continue to utilize him and, just spread the ball out more. Puka Nacua is out. We can't force the ball to Puka anymore. We're going to have to get some other guys involved. Hopefully, like I said, that connection with Adams, feels a little bit more fluid and feels a little bit more accurate this game. But Jake, looking at this offensive attack, right? We mentioned that Puka Nacua is out. And looking at, I'm pulling up now the Jaguars, depth chart and who's going to be out there for them. They've obviously got like Trayvon Walker, right? He's healthy. I know that he was battling some injury, but it sounds like he's going to be out there. Josh Hines-Allen, in that passing attack. Devon Hamilton on the interior. Devin Lloyd is going to be out, it sounds like, which is
that's huge. Leads the league in interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge loss for the Jaguars. And then you look at that secondary, they got like Andrew Wingard, Jordan Lewis. They traded for Greg Newsome, which was such an odd trade to me.
Did you see last week what Greg Newsome did? The 61-yarder to JSN, that was Greg Newsome. He played 7 snaps, and they're like, like as soon as they saw him in there, they're like, okay, this dude doesn't know the playbook yet. Let's just attack him. So maybe the Rams should do that.
Yeah, maybe the Rams are going to try to pick up on that as well this week. But Jake, I feel like I like the Rams' chance at a passing attack against the Jaguars. When I look at that pass rush and kind of their interior and up front, I think they're stronger. And so I think that targeting the kind of weak spots at corner for the Jaguars might be the Rams' move. So yes, Puka Nacua is out, but all of those guys that we just talked about, see what they target them. Use Tutu Atwell in the long receiving game, right? Get Terrence Ferguson involved. I think that we're going to be able to test the secondary of Jacksonville. And like we've mentioned, they're traveling as well overseas. It's going to be a weird environment for both teams. I think teams are going to be slightly off a little bit, and go ahead, test them out. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think when I'm looking at how the Rams offense is going to attack Jacksonville, I'm thinking that Stafford could be in for a big day.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the corners, Monteric Brown is somebody that I've liked for a long time. I think he's playing pretty well, and I do think Jordan Lewis is playing pretty well. This is a guy that James Gladstone has wanted for a while, like even back when he was with the Rams, and so he becomes available, and they go out and get him. And the thing about Lewis is you can blitz him, he can play the run well, but to me, like when they signed him to be that do-it-all slot corner, not necessarily play on the outside. So he's had to play on the outside, and that's why they're like, Tyson Campbell, you're not really cutting it for us right now. You're struggling this year. And keep in mind, it's kind of a new regime. It is a new regime, not kind of. It's literally a new regime that didn't draft Tyson Campbell, so they move on, and they clearly identified Greg Newsome as somebody that would make a lot of sense. Now they can move Jordan Lewis in the slot. Here's the thing, though. It's too early. I don't believe that they can do that yet. And you also have Travis Hunter, who, by the way, he's not just a novelty item, folks. He's played 139 snaps out wide at corner. So you're going to see 12 in there. Eric Murray's an absolute talent. I really like the way he plays. I think he's better than Andrew Wingard, to be honest with you. But the one that I'm really interested in on that defense is Ventrell Miller. And the reason being is I thought he played really well when Devin Lloyd went down with the injury, filled in, and it's in the middle of the game. So how does that look when people have, tape on him and everything, his tendencies and what have you. Foya Luakon is one of the best tackling linebackers out there, simply put. And then Dennis Gardeck, because they run more of a base 4-3, old school, St. Louis Rams style. Dennis Gardeck, they can use him because keep in mind, you remember him last year. He was an edge defender for the Cardinals, and he was just really a pass rusher. But he's got some skills where, you could play him at Sam linebacker. You could also blitz him, or you could just line him up off the edge. So he gives them kind of some versatility. And then you mentioned, Davon Hamilton. That is their top run defender. And I'm going to say it because no one else has said it. This is the Hamilton Bowl, baby. It's Ty Hamilton versus older brother Davon Hamilton. I knew you would like that. Because you like those things. Well, there you go. There's the storyline for you. It's the Hamilton bros going at each other in London.
Yep. Hey, family can go out and see the Hamilton bros, right? Nice family trip to London.
The
Makes
split
a lot of
jerseys,
sense.
like one can have the road-looking ones, the other one can have the home. It's right there. It's easy.
We love it. It's such a good story, right? We
Yeah,
love
it's a
stories
great
like
story.
that. But yeah, I think we're in agreement kind of what this could look like for the offense going against this Jacksonville defense. And speaking
Most turnovers,
of defense,
by the way, 14.
yeah,
They've done a nice job.
yep. And I want to talk about our defense now.
Yes.
Because our defense has been kind of the unsung hero of the season. I mean, and maybe unsung isn't fair. I think a lot of people have given credit to the defense. But, there's been a lot of games where our offense has stalled out. We've struggled in the red zone. We made a lot of special teams mistakes, unfortunately, as is the story this season. And the defense has really stepped up in a way that has kept the Rams kind of in it, right? And the defense going against this Jacksonville Jaguars team and Trevor Lawrence in London is going to have to do the same thing, I think, right? And we're going to see guys like Jared Verse and Byron Young hopefully get in there and be able to attack Trevor Lawrence. And, Omar Spates is going to be back, right, at linebacker. So, he'll be out there. Jake, looking at Jacksonville's offense, we talk about Trevor Lawrence, and I think that, I can be fair and say that I kind of was maybe, I don't know if I was out in Trevor Lawrence, but I haven't always given him his credit where it's due, right? I've been a little unfair about him at times.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nope, go on.
Well, Travis Etienne, running back, is going to be out there. You've got Brian Thomas, Diami Brown, and then Travis Hunter, who we talked about, who's kind of been splitting time between receiver and corner, and obviously is a very promising rookie for that team. What do you think the emphasis is going to be for this Rams defense facing this Jaguars offense, who has really surprised this season, including myself, has gone out there and they've played really well. But what do you think the Rams are going to do? Do you think they're going to try to, because in my opinion, I think you have to shut down the passing attack with Trevor Lawrence. Etienne is not, they haven't really done much, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's slowed down a little bit, but I think
as of late, but yeah, you're right. As of late, and I say this as an Etienne fantasy owner, Jake and I are in a
he's
dynasty
been a top
league.
10 back this year, I would say.
I don't
they
know.
typically teacher and student, right? They
And also,
abandon the run.
And also, they do abandon the run. And also, Brian Thomas, I like him a lot.
Yes.
I have no reason to be throwing that out there. I just like him a lot. I think he's a great player. I was a fan of him.
Travis Hunter fan.
I like Travis Hunter too, but I feel like Brian Thomas is gets overlooked because of the excitement factor around Travis Hunter. But Brian Thomas is very good. And I really liked him as a prospect too. So I'm just making that statement just to say it because I feel like he deserves it. But Jake, what do you think the offensive game plan is going to be for Jacksonville going against the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at Jacksonville, their offense, they have serious deficiencies going into this game. Trevor Lawrence has not been good. Trevor Lawrence won the game against the Chiefs in front of everyone, and now everyone's going to think that he's some good quarterback. He's not. He is a roller coaster. He makes good throws. He makes wow throws even, but he's very inconsistent. He has 8 touchdowns. He has 5 interceptions. He's got 8 turnover-worthy plays according to PFF, 3 big-time throws. He leads the league in drops. I don't believe that those throws that are dropped are good throws. So the decision-making has always been a big issue with Lawrence. If you rush him, he really struggles. His average time to throw is 2.8 seconds. And Matthew Stafford's, just for comparison, obviously they're different players, but for comparison, we're talking about Matthew Stafford in the 2.5s. So I just think like the biggest takeaway I took on tape was that, you know, this Jaguars team is legit. They're a good football team. They are. But Trevor Lawrence cannot push the ball down the field. He has attempted 18 passes that were 20 yards or more. Alexis, guess how many he's completed of them?
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah, just take a guess.
No, just tell me. Just say it. I don't want
4.
to. Yep. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a 33.3 passer rating when targeting deep down the field. He even in the intermediate part, which we're talking 10 to 15 range, 10 to 15, 75.8 passer rating. So I think this is a great matchup as long as they don't play him like they played Mac Jones on Thursday Night Football. If they force Trevor Lawrence to have to make decisions, it's going to benefit them. And if they're able to get after him, it's only going to benefit, because if they speed up his clock, he's not going to do anything. So this is where this happens, right? The offensive line. The offensive line just gave up 39 pressures to Seattle. 39. Now, Robert Hainsey, I'm pretty sure he played at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So Robert Hainsey did not play last week.
Mm-hmm.
And
he will be playing this week.
Jonah Monheim did, and he was not at all good. He had as many pressures given up in that game as Hainsey has given up all year. So it's great that Hainsey's back for the Jaguars. Here's the problem. The tackles. How does the center impact those guys on the outside? They just got bullied. And you know how they got bullied? They got worn down over the course of the game. You know how? Because Seattle doesn't just speed rush you, they power rush you, which wears you down. It's essentially, instead of just trying to throw haymakers at the head, a boxer's just hitting you in, the body, and you're taking all these body blows, and eventually you just break down. They're the less sexy thing to do, but over the course of a fight, you're going to fall, right? Now, this is what happened. Walker Little, he gave up 5-6 pressures in that game. Anton Harrison gave up 4. Walker Little has given up 5 sacks all year. 4 of them were in that Seattle game. Guess who plays just very similarly as far as a pass rush? The Rams. Very power-driven. Verse. Going to beat you at the bull rush. Byron Young, he's an old school pass rusher. Can he win with speed? Absolutely. He's a great athlete. So is Jared Verse. But they're going to beat you at that bull rush. So is Braden Fisk. So is Kobe Turner, right? So is Poona Ford. So that's the thing, Alexis. I think they're going to wear this offensive line down, and then when you wear them down, you got Trevor Lawrence who takes forever to get rid of the ball. So I don't think this is a good matchup at all for the Jaguars offense. If they can run it, they got a shot. If they can't run it, it's going to be tough. I do expect them to be able to run the football, though, because I think ETN's having that good of a year. These guys can block up front from a run perspective, but right now, I don't trust them at all in pass pro. Not at all. I mean, McCarry's given up a sack. Anton Harris hasn't given up sacks. He's just given up a lot of pressures. And Walker Little has given up 5, and Ezra Cleveland's given up 2. So that left side, and by the way, that is the blind side for Trevor Lawrence. I think it leaves him wide open. And honestly, at that point, it's not like you have Stafford back there who can get rid of the ball lightning quick. Lawrence is, when I watch Trevor Lawrence, I see Jared Goff. And I see some, like the good, like he can make those wow throws, but I also see the bad. And that's how, like, Jared Goff is last year in LA. That's what I see. So that's what the Rams are facing.
Well, I certainly agree with a lot of that, and I think that, the pass rush for the Rams, I'm hoping can really get after it. And, and London's calling, right? Let's do it do it over in London, and everyone wants to perform on prime time as well. But that kind of
I
leads
keep
us a
hearing Chandler, like London. When in London.
oh yeah, win in London.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so jealous of everybody going to this game.
I'm
Because a lot of
bummed.
people, a lot of our listeners from the UK, which we have quite a bit, which is awesome. A lot of people, and when I made that 500 episode video for
Yeah.
the show, we had a lot of London listeners submit
I
videos for that, which
I
is really
wanted to
cool.
see them. I got opportunities to go, but I don't have my passport. So
Yeah, that was
it
my thing.
takes what, 3-4 months to get a damn passport in this country. So yeah, wasn't an
Yeah,
option.
I would love to go. Maybe the next time the Rams are there. I mean, I want to go in general, but I'd love to see the Rams play over there.
Yeah.
But Jake, getting into our predictions uh, for the game,
Yes.
we might have touched on them a little bit. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Um, Up to you. I don't
I'll go
want to. I don't want to
first.
steal your thunder. If
Uh,
you feel like you're on a roll, then you're on a roll.
I'll go first. Why not? Because I'm saying this because my first prediction has to do with that pass rush that we just talked about
Okay, I
for the
see.
Rams. I'm predicting Jared Verse 2 sacks. I feel like the same thing happened to Jared Verse this season that happened last season, right? It's, oh, he's not getting sacks quick enough, or right, or whatever, whatever. And he's the type of guy, as the season goes on, he's just been getting more and more hot, right? And I think that he's, again, London's calling, right? We've been talking about it, these bizarre London games, and it's not really a bizarre idea for Jared Verse to get 2 sacks. He's incredible, but I'm just going to call it. I think that he's going to have 2 sacks. I almost went with three, but I'm not trying to be ridiculous. Okay. That we're going to say two, maybe 2.5 compromise. I'm changing my own prediction. Jared Verse, 2.5 sacks, right? I think he's going to have a big game. Um, but my next prediction is also defensive because we talked about Trevor Lawrence. We talked a little bit about the indecisiveness, maybe lack of accuracy at times. I am predicting Quentin Lake interception again. He got
Wow.
one. I'm going to do another Quentin Lake interception. I just think that Trevor Lawrence, if the Rams are able to pressure him the way that I think that they're going to be able to, I think he's going to make some of those bad decisions. And so I think, at the very least, somebody's getting an interception or a turnover. But I feel good about Quentin Lake. I feel like he really, like, after he's really come into his own this season. He got the interception. He's gotten the fumble recovery, right? Like, let's keep it hot for him. And I think that he's going to get an interception this game. Um, Third prediction, we'll go offense this time. This might be bold, but I'm saying Tutu Atwell, 2 touchdowns.
Damn. Okay.
And I think they're both going to be long plays. I think it's going to work, and I think they're going to do it again. And I think the Rams are finally, where's wood that I can knock on, right? I think they're finally going to wake up and realize that they need to start utilizing Tutu Atwell more. And I think I'm not going to keep saying London's calling, but like this is the vibes are weird. We're going over to London. The
Vibes are
vibes are
weird.
weird. Teams are trying weird things over there. Like, let's do it. Like, let's get Tutu Atwell involved. So that's my third prediction. Fourth one, because we've kind of been doing this lucky like fourth one, and I feel like I have
Yeah.
to keep it up. Fourth sidebar prediction. I'm gonna say Terrence Ferguson touchdown, and that's more just me willing it into the universe. Like, I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. It's
Okay.
time. It's
These are
time.
bold predictions, by the way, folks, not just
Yeah.
predictions. So,
These are, yeah, we're doing like bold predictions.
but not stupidly bold predictions where it's
Yeah, I'm
like,
not gonna say like the Rams are gonna drop 65 points. Like, we're
yeah,
not, you know.
nothing crazy like that.
Um, your turn.
All right. Let's see. Byron Young's gonna have 2 sacks, and both of them are gonna be strip sacks. So there you go. That's bold. Kanate Mumfield is gonna catch his first NFL touchdown. That's pretty bold.
That
Uh,
is bold.
Jordan Whittington is going to catch his first NFL touchdown. Tutu Atwell is going to... Oh, I guess this is already 4. Wow, that blew by. Right? Mumfield touchdown.
Yeah,
Whittington touchdown.
We whipped through those.
It's so fast, I wasn't even able to keep up with it. Tutu Atwell is going to go for over... Let's say he goes for over 90 yards, and I'll just say 100. He'll get over 100 yards, and he's going to catch a bomb for a touchdown.
Perfect.
Yep. Wait, didn't you have Tutu Atwell 2 touchdowns? That's not really
I
that.
did.
Yeah,
I did, but I was just gonna.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. No. So Whittington and Mumfield are going to catch their first touchdowns of their career. Byron Young, 2 sacks, 2 strip sacks. Rams recover both of them. And Trevor Lawrence is going to throw 3 interceptions in this game.
Okay. I would love it. Hey, I would love it. But
there you go.
I think that's easily feasible.
Or I'm sorry, I don't want to be negative. The Rams are going to intercept Trevor Lawrence 3 times in this game. I just come off like a hater. Trevor Lawrence sucks, so he's going to throw 3 picks. No. The Rams are going to get 3 takeaways. Well, they're going to have 5 takeaways, but they're going to have 3 interceptions in this game. And yeah, I still kind of feel like it'll be somewhat of a close game because that's the Rams for you. But yeah, I'm just going to say 3 because if I try to predict them, that just will be ridiculous. So, yes.
Well, let's get into the score.
Takeaways. Yep.
Yeah, let's get into the score because we have to keep all this in mind now.
Yep.
I have to be honest. I've really gone back and forth about this, and I always try to be honest on the show, and I feel like it's disingenuous for me to predict the Rams win every week, which I've done so far on this show this season. As of you, I mean, people can go back and...
They should be 6-0, to be fair.
Yeah, they should be 6-0, to be fair. And I always try to find a couple games a season where I'm like, I'm going to be honest, my realistic prediction is just that the Rams are going to win this one. Because I can't go every single game of the season. But, so I was thinking that this might be a game that I predicted a Rams loss. But like, the more I've thought about it and looked into this and we've recorded, Jake, I think they're going to win. I do. I
talked you into it.
You kind of talked me into it because I went into this episode and I was like, I look at the data and I look at what I've seen from the Jaguars and I think about the fact that it's London and that it's weird and I keep watching all these London games and they're so insane and I'm like, this just feels like it could be not good. But you know what? I think you've talked me into it. I do think it's going to be close. I do want to say that. I think that this is going to be just one of those games that is really going to come down to it. But I'm going to say that the Rams win 28-24.
Oh my God. We almost have the same prediction.
What's yours?
I have 28-22.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I it's London. It's got to have like some weird, like who scores 22 points? I mean, it happens, but not very often. Yeah, I think the Rams 4 touchdowns. I mean, I already mentioned 2 of them, right?
I think so. Well, you kind of whipped through a lot, and then you pulled back because you already.
Yeah. So Whittington. I'm gonna say Atwell doesn't catch a touchdown. So I'll go with Whittington, Mumfield, and 2 Davante Adams touchdowns to keep his streak going when he goes up against the Jaguars. He had 2 touchdowns last year in December with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. He had 2 touchdowns with the Raiders the last time he saw them. He's had a touchdown against the Jaguars in every single game he's ever played against them. And he's had at least over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns the last 2 games. So I think Davante Adams will have 2 touchdowns in this game. I guess that's another prediction. I don't care. Either way, 28-22, 28-24. The Jags go down, and we march into the bye week. And Puka Nacua comes back on the other side of it, week 9 against the Saints, hopefully. I would probably just sit him until the 49er game personally, but that's just me. But yeah, anything else before we grab a word from Sleeper?
No, I think we should hear a word from Sleeper before we get into some supers.
Yes. So if you haven't already, I don't know what the hell is up with you. It's week 7 now. Okay. Like literally the link is in the description below. JKB is going to get you a 100% match up to $100 on Sleeper. And for a limited time, they're doing a $20 free entry with no deposit even needed. So if you haven't already, definitely get in on the action with Sleeper. And if you're one of those people that's listening to what we're saying and you want to match what we're doing, well, you can do that over on Sleeper. Jordan Whittington touchdown, Jordan Whittington yards. You can put more or less if you believe in it. You think, honestly, I think the most low-hanging fruit ever is Trevor Lawrence interceptions. You could put more on that. So you could have more for sacks. Like what Alexis was just saying, if you're like, oh, I like what she's saying about Jared Verse, more or less half sack for Jared Verse. I mean, come on. So you can definitely all check it out on Sleeper again. Code is JKB. Link is in the description below. All right. Now we got super chat time.
Supers.
All right, Matthew. Thank you,
Matthew.
Appreciate you. A lot of hate for Cardi right now. What is both of you take and stats? Side note, almost never post, but been sub since summer of 2020. Matthew, I appreciate you. I've definitely seen your name on here before, definitely during the draft. So really do appreciate it. My take on Josh Cardi is that people are being way too knee-jerk reactionary for my liking. Like I always say, go back to Lucas Haversick and Brett Maher. I liked Maher. A lot of people didn't. I didn't like Haversick at all. That was 2023. Cardi came in last year and was outstanding. Do you even want to run the risk of having to try and find another kicker? Because I'll tell you right now, everything that's going on with the 49ers, and people just keep looking at the 49ers and they're like, oh, Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie Pinheiro has never been this good his entire career. So to just assume you're going to find just a random kicker that isn't on an NFL roster right now and is going to kick like that dude is kicking right now, you're asking for trouble. So me personally, I say you ride it with Cardi. Really, he shouldn't be on the hot seat. They should give it some time. The kicking unit has been a mess, and Sean McVay said they've really done a nice job of fixing it up, and they're starting to go in the right direction. Okay, well, now we got to see how Cardi does. If Cardi still struggles when the kicking unit looks pretty good and he's getting protection, well, then that starts to look like he might have some sort of thing going on mentally. Then you might have to move on. But currently, right now, no, I don't think you're even close to that.
I agree. I think it's hard to assess him when the kicking unit has just been this poor. I think that we got to give it time, and we can have this kind of discussion about does he need to go or whatever. I think later on in the season, if maybe the kicking unit improves and special teams improves, and there's still this problem. But I just feel like it's so hard to judge right now because everything's just been such a mess, and I don't really feel like most of that is on him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't agree more, honestly. But I appreciate that, Matthew. And then other Matthew Plowden. Thank you,
Matthew.
As always. Like, I've already lost count, but I think we're up to like 50 months a channel member. Really appreciate you, Matthew. Good evening, guys. Defensively, I think we're good. However, they need to watch out for Trevor running. Offensively, thinking Tyler will have a good game, hoping it will click between Stafford and Adams. That's the hope. That is certainly the hope. I think when you look at Tyler Higbee, he's coming off one of the better games he's had the last 2 years. Now, he's been banged up for most of it, but yeah, I could see, like, that's the thing, like, where Mumfield might score the touchdown, like I'm saying, but I'm not expecting him to have like 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. I'm expecting to be like 1 catch, 7 yards, and it happens on that play. I think when Puka's out, they're going to be cautious. They want to get things going. They want to go to the right guys. They want to go to the guys that are ready. And Jordan Whittington might be starting in this game, and he's going to. But if they trust, Tyler Higbee more, and this is a really close game, expect Tyler Higbee to get a lot of targets in this one.
Yeah. Hey, I'm infamous for the tight end 2 touchdowns bet.
Yeah, it's true. You are.
I've hit an uncanny amount of tight end 2 touchdowns bet. I just hit Pat Fryermuth last night, 2 touchdowns. So if you guys want my betting advice, which again is unsolicited and I'm not an expert and this is just me saying it, if you bet Tyler Higbee 2 touchdowns looks appealing.
Mm.
It looks appealing if you are betting people. I'm just throwing that out there because I think that he could be a comfortable connection for Stafford.
And then we have D-Tex here with
Thank
the
you.
5. Thoughts on Rams flying to London today as opposed to flying Monday like the Jags seems odd and disadvantageous.
I don't
Uh,
love it.
I actually like it a lot. I think it was smart because keep in mind for the Jaguars to have to go to London, there had to have been prepped after the game. And the Rams just basically never left Baltimore. So there was never any of that. They just got right back down to business. It means that, I mean, you saw Sean McVay's show taking place in Baltimore in some like hotel area or whatever. I like that. That they did not waste time. They were already prepping. And I think that is key. So I don't think that that's going to have anything to do with what happens on Sunday negatively. And I don't necessarily think positively either, but I do agree with the decision they made because you go across the country. I mean, yeah, you could have gone to London, sure, but I think it made sense to just get as much quality practice in as you could before you went to London. That's just my take on that.
I disagree. I think they should have gone to London sooner. Listen, I am not in the organization. There are people that think a lot harder about this, obviously, than I do. So this take this with a grain of salt. But I just think on a surface level, it makes more sense to me to get to London sooner, get there, get situated there, start practicing there, get your body adjusted to the time zone. Instead, you're basically spending, you go to Baltimore and then you just stay in Baltimore, which I guess they're thinking is, you're in one place for longer. But I just think internal clockwise, I probably would have gone to London after the Baltimore game. I would have just gone from Baltimore to London already. But I don't know. It might probably won't. I don't know if it'll affect anything or not, but that's just my opinion.
They had to give Camden Yards something to house in October since it wasn't going to be the Baltimore Orioles.
Shots fired.
I mean, you see the Yankee hat over there. I had to. Um. Anyway,
That's valid.
yeah. Sorry to the Baltimore, the Rams, Orioles fans in here. They do exist. I know there's a few of them, but yeah, I had to. It's low hanging fruit. Okay. Matthew, thank you for the 5. My bold prediction
Thank
is
you,
Rams
Matthew.
score in the red zone 3 times, 34-17. Wow.
Would love to see it. We got to start scoring in the red zone. Absolutely.
I'd love to see that because that's a convincing win. And right now, I think the win that Seattle just had against them looks so good for Seattle. If the Rams just ran roughshod of the Jaguars, that would look like something. And then in addition to that, there's this kind of overhanging thing where it's like, yeah, the Rams just don't put teams away and they can't score in the red zone. And it's like, if they have a game like that, man, I think a lot of doubts go out the window. I think people forget about, because, people are still going to talk about how the Rams lost to some JV team, like the
Yeah.
49ers aren't a professional football team. And I think that would be awesome. So do I hope that? Yes. Do I think it? I mean, I'm also never going to predict the blowout ever again because it just never goes well. I
Fair.
predicted blowouts for the Rams twice. I predicted once against the Cardinals last year. We know how that went. And I predicted one against the 49ers this year. After really not predicting it on this show, I went and did it live in the heat of the moment in LA at the pre-show. And yeah, never again. So, Deb, yay, caught alive. Thank you for the 20, Deb. Hoping Adams and number 9 connect better. And I love Jay Witt hoping for a touchdown. We are too. We are
Yeah.
definitely hoping
Thank
for
you,
that
Deb.
too.
And yeah, I am hoping for that too. And just that he gets utilized more. I feel like they don't utilize him enough.
Yeah, my counting on him in my sleeper fantasy, not our dynasty league. I kind of traded him away to get Rico Dowdle to my brother, but yes, I am counting on him in fantasy to step up. And I I don't know, like I could see it, from a target standpoint, like catching a lot of passes. I don't know how big of a day he's going to have. Is he capable? 100%. But it's a matter of this is a really good Jaguars team. This isn't like a pushover 0-6 Jets team or whatever, right? So I could see McVay getting really cautious about that. And while he trusts the wide receivers, maybe they lean a little bit more on the veterans like an Adams, like a Tyler Higbee, along the lines of what I was saying before. Maybe Colby Parkinson has more of a role. Who knows? I don't know, but definitely something I'm looking at. Deb, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody. This has been fun. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, I know that
Yes.
Dodgers playoffs are going on, so thank you for taking the time to hang with us instead, or even if you're doing both and multitasking. Thanks for putting us on anyway. But that's all I got.
Yeah.
Alexis, do you have anything else?
No, that's all I got as well. I'm excited to watch this. It's going to be like a fun, cute little morning for us all to wake up together and just like watch the game that early. So that'll be fun. Um, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Friday night. As always, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on social media at Downtown Rams. You can follow me on Twitter at the Alexis Craft. You can follow Jake at JK Bogan. And guys, as always, stay safe, take care, and go Rams.